serve in the South Carolina State House, and my job is more than just fighting against bad social policies, for example, and all of the juicy stuff that gets a lot of shares on the internet and all that. We fight for funding too, right? Support for our local community. So a lot of these rural areas, I'm a big rural advocate. So take Bamberg County, approximately 14,000 people. We might not necessarily have the tax base to be able to fund these big construction projects without grant money, without state dollars or federal dollars. So over time, myself, Senator Brad Hutto, would have this fight in Columbia to try to get money to get this project going, because a courthouse it's a core function of government. You know, the concept of people having access to justice in the courts is not, that ain't clickbait. That's very real. It is core to the United States Constitution as the right to free speech, free press, the right to bear arms. You have the right to a fair jury trial in front of your peers. You have the right to a civil trial. So we just approach that the same way we approach other constitutional rights. So right now, what we've been doing over the last 5 years is we have court in what was an old National Guard armory. So it's not temperature controlled, there's no AC, there's no heat. So during the peak of summer, we had to stop having court. During the peak of winter, you have to not have court. Now, what does that mean for citizens? Imagine you have to go to court and the fight is over whether or not you get to keep your children or not. And that is the most important day of your life. And when you walk in, there happens to be a bunch of people in there because it's also election day. And that location doubles as a polling site. People have to, in order for the system to work, people have to be able to believe that they can get justice and be treated fairly. And sometimes people question that when they walk into rundown facilities. So that facility was unsafe. Some of the most emotionally tense moments. Imagine a parent whose son was murdered, and the murderer is in court, and you have a lack of security capabilities. You know, everybody, the sheriff, court staff, the bailiffs, they do the best they can, but we were waiting on something bad to happen, and I'm glad that we were able to get this done and fixed before that occurred. I'm excited that, not for right now, today's cool. I'll be more excited when it's done and people come by and they see a building that fills them up with pride because it's so beautiful, because it is a representation of the judicial branch of government here. And again, like I said earlier, my vision in the work that was done to get us here is I want people to see justice. I want them to believe in justice, and I want them to have a place they can go and feel truly that they can seek justice there. And I think that's what we've accomplished with today.
There's been a lot of judges in here, but it's truly, I stayed up there 15 years holding court till I retired, but it's a historic courthouse. It's time for a new face. Aaron mentioned the pigeons. I'm sitting in my office one day and my secretary comes out and says, "You're not going to believe this. The air conditioner bed is snowing pigeon feathers." And sure enough, I went in and pigeon feathers were floating down into the bathroom. 2 or 3 days later, somebody came in and said, "Judge, you're not going to believe this. There's a pigeon flying around in the courthouse, in the courtroom." Is Farrell there? Farrell Pulaski? Well, Farrell was I don't know what Farrell was. He was a deputy sheriff in charge of animal control, game warden, but he loved guns. I called Farrell. I said, "Farrell, we got to get rid of these daggone pigeons." "Nah, no problem." I said, "What are you going to do?" He said, "I'll be right back." He goes out to his car and gets his .22, and he comes up into the courthouse, in the courtroom, and I'm standing there. He takes that .22 out, and the pigeon's flying around. He stops and does it. Ow! He killed 3 pigeons up there that day. We never had any trouble with the pigeons after that. So, Joey, if y'all don't have the proper pest control, call Farrell and he can take care of it. With the .22, he's a pretty good shot. As I said, this is an old historic courthouse. A lot of things have happened in here. There's been a lot of people who have held court in this courthouse.
Well, a center of government. It's a very vital part of our local government, state government, federal government, and so having a new building is a fresh outlook on justice. And justice is something that we see sometimes gets a low end, and so being that it's fresh, we have a fresh look on justice. Well, sir, I can personally connect with that because I work for the clerk of court here in the midst of this process, and the clerk of court even today is sitting in a mobile unit, and so you can imagine those documents are sitting there in a mobile unit, and that level of security, that level of service, that lack of security rather, with a new courthouse, it gives us more excellence, it gives us more efficient ways to be able to handle our citizens. I'll make you laugh. I'm excited because I want to see the new courthouse, but also the courthouse has been in the municipal facilities for the last 5 years. So I'm ready to evict them. Not badly, but we're ready that things go forward. And so we've housed them in our municipal facilities, but it is just not efficient to be able to handle government as it is, and so or to be able to handle the judiciary as it is. And so we're grateful to see progress, not just movement, but progress.